This is Louis. He's a light bulb, but he's not the brightest. But Louis has decided he's going to change his life. Again. But this time, he means it. He has a goal. He has a plan. He even bought a new notebook, which obviously means things are serious. And for the first few days, Louis is unstoppable. He wakes up early, he does the work, he ignores distractions. He tells himself, this is the beginning of the new Louis. Day 1 feels great. Day 2 feels pretty good. Day 3, still going. Then something strange happens. Nothing. No dramatic transformation, no applause, no mysterious billionaire calling to say, Louis, we've been watching you. Just another Friday. So Louis keeps going, and eventually, something that felt exciting starts feeling strangely heavy. The work hasn't changed. The goal hasn't changed. Louis still wants it. But now, opening that notebook feels like lifting a refrigerator. And Louis starts having thoughts, like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should try something else. Thoughts like,
What's the point of even being alive if we can't do this?
Right now. Louis has reached the part nobody puts in the motivational montage, the part where he wants to give up. And Louis assumes he knows why. He thinks he's lazy. He thinks he lacks discipline. He thinks he's not motivated enough. But something much more interesting is happening inside Louis's brain. Because motivation isn't just a feeling, it's a calculation. And Louis's brain has been keeping score the entire time. Every time Louis does something, his brain is essentially asking, what do we get and what does it cost? The reward might be money, progress, recognition, food, a tiny gold trophy. Whatever Louis has decided matters this week. And the cost might be time, effort, stress, uncertainty, or getting off the couch when he's already found the perfect position. Louis's brain weighs those things against each other, and dopamine is deeply involved in that process. Louis has heard of dopamine, mostly from videos telling him his phone has destroyed it. But dopamine isn't simply the chemical that makes Louis feel good. It's heavily involved in learning, reward prediction, motivation, and deciding which things are worth pursuing. When something seems valuable and obtainable, dopamine-related systems help push Louis toward it. That's why starting can feel exciting. Louis imagines the result. His brain sees possibility, reward ahead, go get it. The problem is that Louis's reward is 6 months away. His couch is 6 feet away. And brains have a slight preference for things that exist now. This is called delay discounting. Basically, the farther away a reward is, the less motivational power it tends to have right now. Louis wants to get in shape. Excellent. Future Louis looks fantastic. Unfortunately, future Louis doesn't currently exist. Cookies do. So Louis's brain compares possible reward in 6 months versus cookie. A fierce intellectual battle. But time isn't the only thing reducing the value of Louis's goal. There's also effort. Researchers call this effort discounting. As the amount of work required for a reward increases, the reward effectively becomes less attractive. And scientists have demonstrated this in experiments involving mice poking things for sugar. The mice start out willing to work for the reward. Then researchers gradually make the reward harder to obtain. More effort, same sugar. Eventually, each mouse reaches a point where it stops. Researchers call this the break point. Louis calls it Friday. And this is where things get interesting. In a study published in Cell, researchers watched neurons associated with a chemical called nociceptin. These neurons are located in a region called the peronigral VTA, where they can influence nearby dopamine neurons. The mice worked for a sugar reward, and as the mice slowed down and the reward became harder to obtain, activity in these nociceptin neurons increased. Around the point where the animals finally stopped trying, the activity peaked. Even more interesting, when researchers manipulated these neurons, they could change how long the animals persisted. Activating them made the mice quit sooner, Suppressing the system could make them keep going longer. So the brain doesn't appear to simply run out of motivation. It has systems that can actively put the brakes on motivation. Why? Imagine Louis's ancestors searching for food. They've been looking in the same patch for nearly 11 hours. At some point, the brain needs to say, perhaps the food isn't here. An animal that literally never gives up doesn't become inspirational. It becomes dead next to a hole. So quitting isn't necessarily a flaw. It's part of an ancient resource management system. The brain has limited energy, time, and attention. It needs to decide what's worth pursuing. And Louis's brain isn't asking, how badly does Louis say he wants this? It's watching the results. When Louis made a video, he spent hours writing, editing, and moving one tiny thing slightly to the left, then right, then back left. Finally, Louis posted it. Nothing. He refreshed. Nothing. Refreshed again. One view. Someone found it. Someone actually, oh, that was Louis. And this is one of the hardest parts of starting anything. The hardest part isn't always doing the work. It's continuing to do the work before the work gives you a reason to continue. But if Louis only counts the final goal, almost everything will look like failure. Works out, not fit yet. Failure. Saves money, not rich yet. Failure. His brain keeps receiving the same report. Effort, yes. Reward, pending. Eventually, it closes the department. So Louis starts to focus on the stuff in between. Shorten the feedback loop. Break distant rewards into smaller milestones. And temporarily lower the cost of continuing. Instead of 5 miles, 1 mile. Instead of the whole thing, 1 page. He isn't lowering the destination. He's lowering the price of staying in motion. Of course, sometimes Louis actually should quit. Persistence doesn't mean spending 15 years banging on a locked door because an inspirational poster told him winners never quit.
2,000 years later.
Sometimes the strategy is bad. Sometimes the reward isn't worth the cost. The real skill is learning the difference between this isn't working and this isn't working yet. Louis can change the strategy without abandoning the goal. He can make progress easier to see, make the next step easier to take, then calculate again. So when motivation disappears, Louis doesn't immediately call himself lazy, and he doesn't immediately quit either. He changes the equation. Then he gives his brain a reason to try again.